When I started doing this chartered accountants, we were not financially strong family. I was all India head taxation, drawing a salary of 60 lakh rupees during that time period.
After the GST implementation, because you've constantly worked on simplifying every aspect of it, then your followers called you as the GST guru as well.
I really believe GST is like my, bread, butter, everything. I've got two wives. One is my real wife. With her, I got married. Another wife is my GST.
What are the challenges that you have to face and convince your clients to get them on board to this perspective of accepting technology?
It is first safe, encrypted, and secure. So these three features come from the cloud-based technology.
So this is the rapid fire round that we're going to have with you. How does your me time look like? Something that you enjoy doing when you get time for yourself?
Sleeping.
Okay, I think that's pretty nice for
very nice.
Yeah.
I'm also going to crop it something and put this rapid fire. Hasni, be careful about it.
Welcome to Coffee with CA, a show where fun and engaging conversations happen over a cup of coffee. We bring in India's most renowned CAs to our show to discuss about GST, audit trail, e-invoicing and other tax amendments that have happened in the country, and also talk about the technological advancements that are happening in the accounting and finance domain. As the curtains rise on our show, I'm happy to introduce a distinguished CA whose name goes synonymous with simplifying the complexities of GST. He's a true master of his craft and has a reputation that precedes in the CA fraternity. CA Bimal Jain, the Executive Director of A to Z Tax Corp. Thank you for joining us in the show.
My pleasure as well, coming on the show and talking to you.
Let's start with the first question. You have established a great name for yourself in the fraternity with the work, your expertise and your knowledge. People seldom know the behind the scenes and the struggles and the milestones you have achieved. They seldom know about the details of that. Would you mind sharing the journey of how you have carved a space for yourself in the accounting industry?
See, when you look at my career, and definitely this question is very, very important for all of us together, including myself. When I started, doing this chartered accountancy, let me tell you honestly today, we were not a financially strong family. When I took chartered accountancy as a career opportunity, then I started, giving tuition to the graduation and chartered inter and studying for my final. And those money I used to, deploy for my education. That is how I started my study and my career. Yes, I really want to do at it best. So that is the reason I was on a point that I need to qualify my chartered accountancy on first go. So yes, with a family background, not having much financial resources, pushing me hard to make it something big out of it. And definitely with giving tuition to the student, I learned myself. And with the money coming in, I taken tuition from others as well and did qualify my chartered accountancy in May 1994. So if you look at the career perspective, yes, chartered accountancy, but simultaneously I was doing company secretary also. But I left CS in between, but did complete my CS in 2006 as well. Then having passion to learn and more learn, I did my law graduation and completed in 2009. As on date, I'm practicing as a lawyer, but if you look at my career perspective, it is like roller coaster, but I was enjoying that passion. I was enjoying that I wanted to achieve something, and today I am really loving it. The fact which I want to share with my audience and with you today, that till 2008, I was working for the industry, LG Electronics. I was all India head taxation, drawing a salary of 60 lakh rupees during that time period. I left the job and started doing my own practice. Why I started my practice? This would be a $1 million question. Because I thought doing job, you're doing job. But when you want to king of your own kingdom, you want to do something different and unique. And that's the reason I took that challenge.
Whatever you said is very amazing, Bimal Ji, because today if people see you, I don't think they would have even imagined that these are the struggles that you've gone through. Today, people see Bimal Jain as someone who's very, very successful, who's very, very knowledgeable. But the path that you have, carved for yourself, you made this spot for you. And I think through this show, I'm happy that the audience get to know the real struggle of how you have achieved this position today. And in your introduction, you told me that you hold 3 impressive titles. One is CA, and you're also a CS, and you're a lawyer. To some extent, I can relate on how CA and CS will complement each other in your work. I am curious to know how being an advocate helps you in your work, and how do you leverage that?
Hasini, very straightforward. These are the degree. Chartered accountancy, of course, comes with a background of accounting and auditing. Company secretary comes with the legal and secretarial. And lawyers definitely advise and litigation. See what happened, it all passion, what you want to enjoy. Even having degree of chartered accountancy, accounting and auditing background, if I'm multiplying those domain expert and creating something so big, and that is what helping me today. I'm into GST practice, doing advising and litigation. But can you think of any advising and litigation can go without accounting part? It can go without auditing part. It can go without legal and secretarial. We have to multiply all credentials together. And when you're having different domain knowledge, then you become expert. You become all-rounder. You become MS Dhoni.
So let's talk about your favorite topic, GST. So I've seen a couple of your videos, and in that you always say GST is growing stronger together. And I see in a technology company perspective, when GST got implemented, there was a lot of unrest in the businesses and even the accountant community. They were on the hunt for cloud applications. So there was the volume of calls were more. And then people were wanting to know what the features are, whether we can push it online, how does the entire thing work. And that was a time that cloud got a surge during 2017. That's the perspective of technology company. Now when I see how GST impacted the career of CA Bimal Jain, then I see it as your social presence. That has actually doubled after the GST implementation, because you've constantly worked on simplifying every aspect of it, even before and after the implementation, and you're still doing it. So how do you see that entire? Then your followers call you as the GST guru as well. How has GST launch impacted your career?
Hasini, this question is very, very important. That GST has really given me a platform where I'm being known in the market like GST guru. Those who are loving me, they made me their best friend. That's the reason I will not say GST guru. I wanted to be their best friend. But GST, as you know, that multiplicity of taxes gone, cascading gone, double taxation gone, one nation, one tax, one market. And more importantly, you have seen in GST that it is applicable from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. When I left my industry, LG Electronics, as All India Taxation, I was doing central excise, service tax, custom matter. So I was having love and passion for this subject matter. When GST was started, GST will come into the country or not, I started putting my time for GST, understanding GST, learning the GST, how GST got implemented in different countries. GST came on July 1, 2017, but my first book came out in October 2015 on GST. So I prepared that book, that what kind of GST India is looking at, and what GST, which model of GST going to be good for the India perspective. So that my passion for the subject matter has given me multiple fold, that I was starter. And starter means those who has not thought of that GST would be coming. Even I started giving classes to all tax professional sometime January 2017. 2017, it was online platform. I was sitting at a studio and it was pan-India. Those classes were given to so many tax professionals, chartered accountant, company secretary, CMA, lawyers. And that is how it started. And as you rightly picked up, GST means growing stronger together. And that is how the journey all about.
That was amazing to hear, Bimalji. Now I want to know a little secret from you. So where does Bimal Jain, the go-to person for GST clarification, himself go to learn GST and gain expertise?
See, this is a very straightforward case. You can teach others only when you teach yourself. I really believe GST is like my, bread, butter, everything. I've got two wives. One is my real wife. With her, I got married. Another wife is my GST. That is how the passion I'm enjoying in GST. And that is how I'm loving the GST. If any notification comes, Hasini, midnight, 10 o'clock or 12 midnight, I don't keep it parked for tomorrow. I really read it, the notification. What is this notification all about? What changes government has drawn out of it? And what is the impact of it? And immediately I create the video and put it my own YouTube channel. And this passion is helping me to keep myself updated.
Got it. And recently I've been observing a pattern. So we have two different spectrums of CAs. So the young CAs are all over social media. They're trying to talk about personal finance and how can you save money, and then if you are going for travel and hotel, then how can you gain discounts. So that sort of a thing. And then there's other spectrum where experts like you who are talking about the intricacies of a tax, global taxation compliance and all that. Do you think that becoming, going out in the public and going digital and talking on social media for CAs could be like a viable career option in the future?
Why not? So many professionals I've seen, they started, in teaching line. So sitting at one place, they are educating so many, not only in India, across the world. So this is very, very important. Look at, we are doing this interview. This interview is going to be watched by so many across India and outside India. And this is through tech mode only, right? On YouTube channel or other platform, it is going to be published. Otherwise, meeting with Bimal Jain one-on-one, very difficult for so many. But watching this particular interview, which you are posting me so many queries, I'm trying to answer as correct as possible. So this is being viewed by so many viewers. It is possible through technology only. All tax professionals, not only CA, CS or CMA or lawyers, again I'm repeating these things. They started coming on public platform. They started, presenting themselves, and that is how the world is changing now. Don't tag that chartered accountant are little, traditional kind of, no, they're very innovative. Look at me, I'm so innovative.
Yes, I think I personally could see a lot of difference, Bimalji. People are coming out, especially the CAs, they're more vocal about cloud application. Traditionally, let's say there are so many people out there. It's not possible for them to, book an appointment with the CA, visit them in the office and then get their expertise. So there are common counseling or consultation that CAs can give through public platform. I think, like you rightly said, that has there's a paradigm shift. That's what I perceive it personally. And a follow-up question to this, Bimalji. You told me that in 2006, even before GST was launched, in 2016 itself, you started writing a book about how it's going to impact. And you also, had to deal with clients. And you have to make them understand that, this is how it is going to work. And, when GST portal was launched and then later everything should be online and all the filings has to happen online. Back in those days, clients would have questions like, is it secure first? Is it private? Are our data safe? Because they see you like a trusted advisor. What are the challenges that you have to face and convince your clients to get them on board to this, kind of a perspective of accepting technology?
This is a very good question. See what happened whenever we see technology and we want to bring them on with the change in technology. Initially, it takes challenges. See what happened, they are working in their traditional ways. They do not want to redefine themselves. Once they want to bring in new technology, they have to reshape whole their work processes. Correct. Right? So they are finding little problematic in their mind perspective. But otherwise, let me tell you, when we look at technology, it's 100% safe. Otherwise, GST is technology based. Starting from the registration, filing the return, making the payment, all technology is working. Like we have seen, GSTN is working so well. Of course, we have some challenges. Technology has got its some pitfall. Sometimes it is down, but down does not mean that it is not good. It's good. It happens with us even in daily life. Can you be 24/7 fully active? Sometimes you feel like, leaning yourself a little low and down. Correct. Similarly, the technology sometimes when down because of internet, it does not mean that technology is not good. When we talk about cloud-based technology, which we are talking about, it is first safe, encrypted and secure. So these three features comes from the cloud-based technology. When these three features coming in, any client who want to protect their data, why he would not be interested, first of all. And just compare with the manual versus automation. Manual data, over a period of time, you see it gets deteriorated. It get, your paperwork creates so much of, wastage all around. You're moving from paper to automation. It's technology and in a cloud, so safe and secure. So anyone who is working in the company can access to those data sitting from any corner, just they need internet. So advantages throughout. Even I want to present to my client in US, I need not require to visit to US. I can put something on cloud. He can see sitting at US and watch everything, and those data are protected. So these challenges to convince them initially is there. No doubt about it, because those traditional way as we used to do the business in India, we are moving, transforming. Transition takes its own time. Even in GST, when we move from old registration to GST registration, transition was the process. So transition definitely, even are in normal life, when we become from childhood, we become young to middle age and then older age, it takes time. Transition takes its own time, but we have to pick up as fast as possible. And if we are bringing those changes, then definitely it is going to help us. So my client, even before reaching to my client, first I make sure that within our company, we are bringing the technology. Like when I talk about any software, see what happened. It can be on HR, it can be on payroll, it can be on accounts, it can be on audit. See, if you automate everything, when I came here to your office, I was first supposed to take my registration done. That this is so and so, who has given the reference, I have to put his employee number and everything. It is all audit trail is being prepared. So I'm being authorized to enter into your premises. Anyone would be interested to know who is coming to my office, sitting at back end. My directors, my all managing directors, CMD or my CFO sitting a distant place. They can't look after everything sitting right across here in this building. But these can be checked and verified and supervised sitting at distant places.
Bimalji, the Indian government has been moving steadfast towards digitalization. Let's talk about audit trail, e-invoicing, and then we are talking about ONDC, and then we're talking about settlements, FNF settlements in 2 days. So we see that the government itself is promoting technology a lot. And there are CAs who are actually actively coming out and implementing technology and at least trying to explore. But do you still think there is a little bit of resistance in the CA community to come out and explore new applications, or maybe some kind of help that they would require to explore applications?
No, Hasni, I will not say resistance. It is only hand-holding.
Okay.
See what happens when technology comes, they are eager to learn. But they need to have some platform readily available to them where they can learn it properly, right? And being they are occupied, thoroughly occupied, they are not getting time to get those applications properly learned in a process. They have to do their work and they have to adopt the changes as well. So they are finding mid-wage around, and some technology service provider has to come forward to give them some platform where they can come and learn all this thing. And that is, resistance is not there. It was there, maybe you can say that, but COVID has taught us that technology is the utmost need as on date. What I can count it, let's say that they are looking for a platform where they can learn all these things. First of all, they want to minimize the cost for their learning set because they are highly occupied as on date. Third, they are devoting themselves, but sometimes clients comes back and says they are not ready to bring in those changes. And clients comes back and says for the region, they do not want to create problem redesigning whole workflow in their organization. But now they are convincing client also, once you implement the technology in their workflow, in the processes, it is going to give the better outcome, better efficiency, better achievement of the overall organization goal. So I will say, yes, they are willing and they are open. It is taking some time. That would be my answer to you.
Got it. Let's say there's a CA who's exploring a tech platform in order to implement it at his firm and for his clients. So what are the key pointers that they have to look at in the technology provider so that they can, probably, like you said, there are multiple applications, and if they want like a one platform system kind of a thing, what are the key pointers that they have to be very careful about tech providers? Because with a lot of tech providers leaving the market, and how should a CA evaluate a tech provider?
Important takeaway would be the first, that I should look at the technology service provider who can provide me safe, secured and encrypted data. Second, I can access my data from any corner, just having internet connection. Third, I need not require to download the software in my devices. It is cloud based, so that I can use wherever I am with the internet. Fourth, it should be cost competitive. If it is cost competitive, then it is very easy to implement in India's culture. Like we are talking about tier 2, tier 3, cities where a lot of, middle-sized firms are willing to, but they are not willing to incur more. So we are looking at cost competitiveness. Fourth parameter would be when we talk about technology, we have to provide them a number of applications available under one umbrella. It should not be just accounting and auditing.
Correct.
Those days are gone.
Correct.
Now you have to have something under one umbrella. We are starting from purchase, storage, HR, admin, accounts, audit, taxation, marketing, sales. Everything so well connected that resultant outcome for all the workflow would be the achievement of better efficiency, better goal, organizational goal, and with minimal efforts. So technology bringing those changes, those are being supervised, transparent, and can be checked as a MIS by any supervisor sitting at any corner, pan word. So these are the pointers I would be looking at from digital perspective, from tech savvy perspective. But now here the challenge is, there are so many service providers. With whom I should go? I need to evaluate, right? And you rightly picked up that so many companies coming in, and then in process they are going away also. And sometimes failure also coming out, or sometimes some company is there but the cost is too high, and that can't be afforded by a client. Even I can't afford it. So what initially we required, we have to bring some kind of simplicity in the mind of client, that please come forward. Cost competitiveness will come once you start evaluating the same. So any tech company, any company who is providing these kind of applications should have everything under one umbrella, providing complete solution, not isolation, accounting and auditing. You got so many accounting software in the market. Those are only accounting software. That is not going to give you the resultant outcome which you are looking as a organization. Now we are growing. From GST perspective, you must be knowing GST has evolved over a period of time. Accounts aggregator. Now there's a new concept which is coming in. What it would be, if you're going to take a loan from any bank, any financial institution. So what happened? GST is going to give the data to those bank and lenders. They can check what is the return filed by this particular GST taxpayer. They can look at the numbers they are submitting. And looking at the numbers, they can extend the loan. And that is how the integration is happening. This integration is required within the organization, inter-organization, and across the supply chain which we are talking about. It is not only for me. I have to ensure my vendors are also integrated. I have to ensure my customers are integrated with my software. So any tech service provider has to come forward and present accordingly that this application is going to provide you complete solution, integrating your whole supply chain, starting from vendor to the customer, end to end, which is safe, secured and encrypted, cost competitive, and it can be operated from any corner across India, across the world, only having an internet connection.
Thank you so much, Bimalji. And we come to an end of this segment. And I think this is a little deviated from what you generally talk, right? Mostly about GST department issues or reverse charge cases, or a lot about new mandates that are coming in. I had a lot of fun and I got to learn a lot from you in this particular segment, Bimalji. And thank you for giving us an entire perspective of GST and technology here.
I also want to add here, I thought I would be getting GST queries and I'm going to respond to GST queries. I never thought of you're going to ask me where from I started, how I am doing today, how technology is bringing those changes. But whatever I said to you and to my audience today, of course, this is going to help all of us together, including me.
All right, let's lighten up a mood a little bit. So this is the rapid fire round that we're going to have with you. I think you know the drill, so I'm going to ask a series of quick questions to you, and then I'm expecting rapid answers from you as well.
Make it simple.
Yes. And although there's no real opponent here, I am still looking forward to a great competition from you for this.
Don't worry, I will give you the best competition.
Okay, here's my first question. How does your me time look like? Something that you enjoy doing when you get time for yourself?
Sleeping.
Okay. Which one would you rather prefer? Quality time with family, weekend meetings with clients, attending events or conferences?
Quality time with family.
Amazing. Rank based on your favorite topic to render deliberations. Year-end closure of books, GST return filing, GST ITC claiming, e-invoicing and audit trail.
GST ITC, then e-invoicing,
Okay.
and then two more.
We have year-end closure of books and then GST return filing.
Year-end closure and GST return filing.
Which hat do you like to wear the most? CA, CS or a lawyer?
All three.
Okay. Private practice or finance head in an MNC?
Be the king of your own kingdom.
Okay, so that will be private practice.
Yes, private practice. So you should do something for yourself, and that's what would be my love.
Okay, got it. I think we've come to the end of the rapid fire round, and yes, you've answered it really well.
So how much marks I got?
So I would just say like 4 right now. Yes, because there was one question where you said you would not be able to choose one from CA, CS, and lawyer.
For the reason that I can't,
Yeah, that is
for
understandable.
me, everyone is loving, guys.
Yeah,
so that
I
is the
know.
reason I said all three.
I know, that's understandable. But have you ever done this kind of a rapid fire previously?
No.
Okay, this is your first on camera then.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's
That's
pretty nice for a
very nice.
Yeah, debutant, right?
I will go back and once you are going to put up this video on YouTube, I am also going to crop it something and put this rapid fire. Hasni, be careful about it.
Okay, Bimalji. So we'll be moving on to our next segment here,
Yes.
which is have you ever. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions, 5 quick questions on have you ever done this. And then we have 3 placards for you. So the first placard will have a thumbs up signal, and the second one has a thumbs down, and then the third
Thumbs down stands for no.
No, yes.
Okay.
Thumbs up is for yes, thumbs down is for no, and then there's a smiley face.
Don't want
without
to give the answer.
Yeah, you don't want to give an answer. So that's the 3 placards.
Okay.
So I'll ask you the questions, and based on that, you can pick up the placard and show me. And if you're okay to elaborate on it, you can also feel free to elaborate.
Perfect.
All
Would be
right?
my pleasure.
Yes. So let's move on to the next segment.
Yes, correct.
Here goes your first question. Have you ever encountered a persistent client who keeps asking for reports or updates continuously? Okay. All right. Have you ever felt happy about a client or a VIP meeting getting cancelled? Okay. All right. Have you ever been mobbed in a CA conference for doubt clarification and felt uncomfortable? All right. Have you ever met a know-it-all who acts like they know taxes better than you? Okay, I thought it will be the other board, but amazing. Okay, this is an interesting answer.
And I can just elaborate here.
Yeah, sure.
See, life is learning,
Okay,
and you cannot be master at all time.
correct.
We have to keep learning till the last breath. So it's not like that I'm the master of the subject matter. I always believe there's a lot to learn from anyone.
Okay.
So even my GST, I know a lot of things from A to Z. But still I believe I have to little more learn. So I always say if someone is there with whom I can learn something, I'm open for that.
I'm liking how you gave an optimism twist to this question, Bimalji. I really liked your answer for that. So let's go to the last question here. Have you ever wanted to be in a different profession and not a CA?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Do you mind elaborating on what you wanted to be?
For the reason that being CA, I thought of when I gave my final exam, I thought of I will not be picking up books and not doing any study further.
Okay.
But that was the wrong perception. Even as on date, I had to keep learning and keep updating myself, looking at the notifications, circular, act and rules. Now since I've chosen the CA, so I'm enjoying it. But had it been given the opportunity, I would have loved something where I'm relaxing myself, like 3 Idiot, like something I'm enjoying my passion and doing and earning money,
Okay.
enjoying the work-life balance. But of course, being CA, as I told you, of course I have to keep myself updated. Sometimes I feel like it is too much. Somewhere it has to be stopped and I must start loving my life, enjoying my life.
Amazing. And we've come to the end of the segment and you've been spot on in this, Alji. And
you.
That also brings us to a place where we have something special planned for you. I had a great time. The entire shoot was very informative to me and spending time with you was wonderful. Thank you for coming in, and here's a small gift from our side to you.
Thank you very much, and I wish each of the colleagues of Zoho. Zoho is a great company to work with. I could see the faces, such a lovely and smiling faces. And my compliment to Mr. Sridhar leading by example. So compliment to each one of you and keep carrying on doing this positivity. When we are talking about tech savvy and tech companies, yes, one of the options we can look into, and that is how we are progressing, and that is the real meaning of growing stronger together.